Bye!
Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome
to Uzumaki, the final reaction to Uzumaki. I'm very nervous.
Yeah, when we started
this,
I didn't think we'd get just 4 episodes. I thought it'd be like 10 or something.
I also thought it'd be longer.
Yeah. But, you know, we talked a lot about the pacing last episode, which we're okay with. We enjoy the fast pace. And I, as a manga reader, also liked the slow pace of the manga.
Yeah.
So there's different things to like.
But I'm excited to get into episode 4. I have a feeling everyone will die.
You don't think...
anyone will make it out? I think Shuichi, sole survivor.
Because he's, like, immune, I guess.
Yeah. Everybody else
Yeah.
is gone.
Well, we'll see. You can't... Look, would you have predicted that...
You asked me to predict what happens next, like, at the end of episode 1 or 2 or something, and I was like, how would I be able to do that?
Right.
2 of the students turn into snails.
Imagine if you predict that, though. Like, I think some people are turning into fucking snails.
What's the next horrific story they're going to tell? What is it going to involve? Next, it's going to be something to do with, like, the rings on a tree.
Oh.
Forming a spiral. And someone's gonna, like, grow into a tree. That's my prediction.
Yeah, remember that tree that almost took Kiryu and Shuichi last episode when they were running? Now there's a stump. They can see the rings.
I am not expecting to get any sort of answer. I'm sensing that it is just like a mysterious phenomenon that is happening in this town. 3, 2, 1. What? Damn! Yeah, Spiral said not allowed. What? What the fuck?
That looks like fun.
What are you doing? Oh my god, they're burning them? Are you eating them? Oh my god! Yo, the spiral is gonna turn y'all into snails.
What's escargot?
なんだっていいさ。なあ、綺麗な姉ちゃんたち。娘たちに近寄るな。おっさんは引っ込んでな。命が惜しけりゃな。近寄るなと言ってるんだ。
What?
なんてこと
I'm gonna say, just be like, y'all are weird. Treating these like tornadoes like Power Rangers? Like what?
私たちトンボ池に吸い寄せられているのよ吸い込まれる
Oh, nice. Oh,
Okay, there goes the Dragonfly Gang.
yeah. I mean, that was bound to happen. Y'all playing with the spirals.
Alright, Shuichi, goddamn. Poor guy.
He's
dude.
losing it, yeah. It does seem rather hopeless. Oh no.
背中
I know what that means, yeah. Kill him. Like, put him out of his misery.
Yeah, right? At that point, I'd be like, yeah, you can kill me.
Yeah.
なんだって俺も見てくれなんともないよ俺も
Fuck.
動画は
That's like terrifying.
Right?
Again, I would be like, shoot me.
書いてる名前を探すんだカタツムリに変身する本当の原因もわからない
Why is everybody not checking their backs? I'd be like, you need to look at my back right now.
ゼロカタツムリにでも何でもなるがいいちくしゅうこんな兵士でも入ってやる置いたぞ
What? What?
どうなってるんだ試合しているうちにねじり絡まりもう解きほぐすこともできない
What? No, I don't think that's how it works. I think the spiral did that to you. Oh, cool. So there is no safe place. Oh, that is horrific.
Yep.
They're putting it back together.
Meat?
とマイマイの肉だ。バタフライ族が食べた
Ugh.
仕方ないよな。この際
Ugh.
こんなにうまいなら早く食べときゃよかったな。岡本が完全にカタツムリになったら食料にしようぜ。君たちも食えよ。食わなきゃ。
They said when their friend
They're
becomes a
already
snail.
losing it, yeah.
これはもう人間じゃないんだ。さあ
Don't do it.
It's not even human anymore.
Shuichi!
一君
Don't do it!
お姉ちゃん竜巻にやられたの？お母さんは？どっかへ飛んでっちゃったよ。なんですって？
Oh.
キリエちゃん
Yeah, I
みそくんの
saw.
背中
Fucking hell. Ugh!
マイマイになってしまう前に町から出ればきっと元に戻ると思うの。私はその後ここに戻ってお父さんとお母さんを探すわ。
You'll come back?
さあ同じところをぐるぐる回ってるみたいだ。
Oh, it's like spontaneous. He's like, it's snail time.
Yeah.
This guy's like dinner.
生で食って
Yo.
Bro.
Ugh. He literally just turned into a snail, bro. Are you serious? He's still got hair.
無理を食べる昆虫がいるの知ってるね。
What is wrong with these dudes?
キリエちゃん行きましょう。
Yeah. Hard agree. Oh, they're gonna try to eat her brother.
逃げるんだい。
いや逃げてるわけでは。
坊やの背中どうしてそんなに腫れているんだい。
He's got a weird pimple. That's just oh, his backpack. That's actually a good lie. You guys let the dude come with
カ
me?
タツムリいないかな。
No. Oh my god.
Mitsuo.
No.
逃げるのよ。
Run for what?
行きなさい。早く。
This is really sad.
It is.
必ず迎えに来るからね。
まだ逃げるのか。
Go
Yeah.
away.
You tried to eat my brother?
時思い出せ。殻の中に体を突っ込んで生肉をむさぼり食った時の。
What?
おおおお。
Oh my god. Well, that was fast. Yeah. That one wasn't even creative. They just became spirals.
クローズ帳じゃないわ。私たちまた変なところに来てしまった。
Oh my god. Are those the row houses now?
長屋？
長屋を増築したんだ。
Yeah, extended them like all the in like
私たちが街を出るとき、
the first sign of any direction.
少し空いてる。
Right.
急いで繋がってしまいそう。
Oh god.
小
Chie!
キリエちゃん。
That's it?
It's connected!
こっちもだ。全部繋がったぞ。
What happens now?
It's connected.
Poor Chie. That blows. That is so unfair.
It really sucks. She was just a reporter.
Watch like everyone just be gone from the inside. Bro, what?
これがトンボ池。行くぞ。連れて行ってくれ。
Uh.
下には素晴らしい存在があるはずだから。
話してください。
俺を連れてけ。やめろ。
Oh!
Shuichi!
Ah! Oh shit. Okay. Ugh. What is going on? Is this the creature?
それは 今まで見たこともない。まるで遺跡に同化してしまって
Wet
るみたい。
squelching.
Squelches wetly.
No. Aww.
やっぱりここにいたんだね。
見ろよ、あの遺跡を。
生きてるみたい。
生きて意志を。
Yeah, okay, so it is like some sort of just like cosmic creature.
これを作った太古の人々の意図はどうあれ、この遺跡は自らの本能で地上の人々を誘惑しているんだ。
私ももう力は残ってないわ。あなたとここに残る。
Girl, no. Are they gonna twist around each other? Oh.
「こうして私たちの町を襲った渦巻きの呪いは終わったのです」。
What? That's it?
That is it.
What the fuck?
I was really sad when I saw how it ended for Shuichi and Kirie.
But how are they gonna get out of it?
I know. It's sweet
Yeah,
though.
so
They were
is-
with each other at the end.
So it is some sort of, it is like a cosmic horror thing, which is, by the way, one of my favorite types of horror, where the monster is just so big and grand it's almost incomprehensible, and
Is-
you can't do anything to
That's the
fight
thing.
it.
Is it a monster? Because what Shuichi was saying,
Not a
it
monster,
was like
yeah.
ancient ruins that somehow developed a mind of its own. The building, Gary, doesn't have feelings. It has a spirit. Gary was right.
I don't know, well, I
Ding.
don't know, maybe it was like, I don't know. Yeah, he suggested that it was, like, built by, he doesn't know who it was built by.
Just ancient peoples.
ような街並みはやがて時の流れとともに朽ちていき、新しい街へと生まれ変わり、
How?
人々が幸せに暮らすことでしょう。ねえ、サトシ君。一緒にこの街を脱出しよう。
Oh my god, first episode animation came back.
また再びあの遺跡が目覚めるまでは。
How many years has it been? Okay,
That is Uzumaki, buddy.
well, it ended.
Yes, it did end.
I had a feeling they would end something like this. There's not really any sort of satisfying conclusion to it. I feel like Shuichi's interpretation that someone built the ruins, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think the ruins just like are a being. He perceived them as ruins.
Yeah.
Work of
Kirie
nature.
called them ruins. Yeah.
It's just like a work of nature. And it is mysterious why it works in so many different ways. Why snails, guy? Why? I don't know, maybe the series is about like just the fact that everything happens in a cycle. Like no matter what.
I thought it was about stagnation. You fail to move on, to move forward, to grow. The first thing Shuichi says, one of the first things he says is we should get the hell out of here. When I first read this, I sort of read that as a teenager who just became an adult and they're like, oh, I want to get out of this town or whatever. I kind of read it like that. Like, you know, he wants to go out and see the world or whatever.
So you're saying
and-
like it's about like a small town kind of entrapment almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Like it literally traps people, you
Yeah.
know, and keeps them from living their life. But why snails?
Right.
Maybe because
Snails are slow.
I was
They
gonna
can't go very
say
far.
like life in this town is very slow paced, you know. So yeah, no, that's a good interpretation of that. Do you think I have a question I thought of when I was watching the ending? Do you think Kirie actually wanted to stay there with Shuichi, or do you think that was her being affected by the ruins?
Yeah, right? Because they're like right there. So it's psychic power or whatever must be stronger, right? But I don't know. I feel like
She like
they
wasn't.
they
though.
did
She
go
seemed
through.
lucid.
They did go through the fucking ringer. Like, first, they've been walking this whole time, this whole episode, pretty much, they've been walking.
They just walked, yeah.
So, I don't blame them for getting to the bottom of that staircase and then being like, oh, I'm actually quite tired. I don't think I could walk that way back up.
That's true, yeah. That's also a
Besides,
good point.
it wouldn't have worked, because that thing that shot up would have trapped her,
yeah,
right?
pretty much immediately closed up. I will say, it did seem to wait for the last residents
for them to transform,
to be affected by the spiral. That's why I'm thinking it's like not actually her decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is part of like the spiral's effect.
And
I think it's like half and half.
And we know she's not immune either because her hair was going in spirals and shit. Shuichi's the only one who we've seen that just is not affected by it, aside from, this episode, just because he's fucking over it at this point.
They portrayed it like they were just able to give up. Like they had been consciously fighting the spiral this whole time. Mm-hmm. There's so many different ways you could interpret what this means, you know? Like the fact that they've been fighting it this whole time, but, there seemed to be kind of a peace to going along with it. Everybody seemed to be enjoying themselves, as creepy as it was.
Right.
But
yeah, life in the row houses was cool. Like, hell yeah, we're connected!
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really seem that bothered by it. And, they were, so great. They were so happy about finishing.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just, descended to the bottom, and then we're like, now we can just stare at this ruin all day, because we did it.
Seeing how it ends, I feel like iGirl...
Yeah.
She got off easy.
Yeah, I feel like she didn't have to stay in as a horrifying monster for the rest of her life. She got to just get sucked into the void and probably
She
got
got to rest. Shuichi's dad kept haunting everyone. Fucking asshole.
Fucking asshole. Yes, Shuichi's dad was around. I was so annoyed when he kept telling the mom about the spiral series. I was like, dude, shut up. Don't tell her about that. She does not need to know. Yeah, I had a feeling she wasn't going to find her parents alive. But what is... I guess... I don't know. Because then, to your point about the small town, trapping people, what is with that one dude who was just fine?
Tanizaki? Who was just hanging out? Yeah, I don't know. He just found a way.
But other people who came into the town also were affected by the spiral, like those other guys who were eating snails and shit. But Tanizaki just adapted.
Yeah, he did. He also ate snail meat though, didn't he?
He did.
So I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe the spiral was just I'm just gonna see what you do because you look hilarious. Maybe something like that.
I mean, he also was helping extend the row houses, so maybe the spiral was like, this guy's doing it without me even asking.
Right, exactly.
This guy's eating the snail meat. Now, I don't think the spiral wants them to eat the snail meat. But I was right. The spiral does definitely have a will. It did seem to be punishing people. It's like, oh yeah, you like to make fun of snails? Get snailed.
Oh yeah, you like to fucking destroy snail eggs? Get snailed.
And it started with that one dude who was just slow in general because he was like, I think you would like it, genuinely, being a snail. I think you would like it. God. What a weird series.
Yeah.
And yeah, none of my questions were really answered.
Another point on the stagnation, the babies wanted to get back in their mother's wombs.
They never wanted to grow up.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good point. That goes along with it as well. Yeah. But what about
Kirie's dad even was like, I don't want to leave this place. This is where my family is.
Yeah. What about the girl who wanted all the attention though, everybody's eyes on her?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't apply everywhere.
It doesn't,
if we're even the first kid who got turned to is Tateyama.
Who?
Katayama, the first kid who got turned to a scale.
Katayama, yes.
I guess you could say he is stagnant in that he's just late to class all the
slow.
time. Yeah, right? But
we don't really get any depiction of his behavior before he was already turning into a snail.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already, by the time we meet him, it's like, hey, why do you only come to school once a week? When it's raining?
When it's pouring, dude.
That's suspicious.
And he's fucking soaking wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I don't like thinking about some of the fates of the people in this show.
I told you, this show's sickening.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about the people that just became snails, especially when they show you that they probably keep a little bit of their mind, at least.
Especially because Kiria was talking to Mitsuo. Come on, you can go down
the
cliff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they kind of showed you this episode that they don't really fully go away.
Yeah.
Or at least, there's some semblance of human in them, but, She's not coming back for him. He's just a snail now.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's weird and gross.
It is.
Ugh. And then other people just turned into, like, slingy spiral people.
Right, yeah.
What was with that one... Fucking Jack in the Box just had a car part inside of him for no fucking reason. Again, this relic has a fucking sense of humor. I don't know why.
Right.
It's like, it happens
man.
over and over again, but I do adhere to, like, the intricate personalities of the townspeople. It's so fun rebuilding a town every 100 years.
Right? Like, especially with this lady, like, or this young lady.
Eri?
Is that...
Akemi?
Akemi, that's her name, yeah.
No, not Akemi. Azemi? Azeki? Akezi?
AZ, I think that was right. You're on the right track.
Because Akemi is from Blue Eye Samurai.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, she was definitely being, like, fucked with by the spiral, too. Like, oh, you think you're hot shit? Let me put a hole in your head.
Right, like, oh, yeah. She's like, my scar is kind of cool. It was like, is it now? So
It will eat you.
So I'm hearing you want more of this scar. To the point where it swallows your eyeball? Yeah, I enjoyed that series, though.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Yeah, horror should have some humor to it, right? Because it is absurd.
I mean, was any of it humorous? I don't know if I ever, like,
the spirals
actually
definitely
laughed.
thought they were being funny.
Oh, well, yeah, like, it was, way too...
On the nose.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Oh, is her cousin the one who cuts her hair?
Oh, right.
She looks familiar here.
Is that Keiko? I don't remember.
It looks like it. I like this thumbnail. It's a good shot.
Yeah.
Of her face being
So,
horrified.
what is your least favorite thing to happen to you? If you were in Kurozu, what would you like to happen to you the least?
The two endings that seem most desirable are either being one of the two couples that intertwine and being like, we just get to be together forever, or being a snail that later gets eaten because you get put out of your misery.
Really? You would take the snail?
I would not want to turn into a snail, but at least it would end. But I think what I would least want to happen to me is probably, what happened to Keiko was genuinely horrific. I hated that shit. Yeah, I did not like that. I think that would be my least favorite.
Uh-huh. What I also found, like, just gross was that guy just crawling into the snail shell to eat it. And he was like, oh yeah, his sweet face and cheeks or whatever.
Right.
Like, ugh.
So that's another thing where, like, the show... I keep bringing up, like, nature and, like, the theme of nature. And the reason why is because it's, like, a lot of it seems to have ties to just, like, nature being, nature by order is already following certain patterns. So, this is just, like, a different pattern, I mean, like, there's, like, you got mosquitoes, but then you got people turning into snails, but then you have also people acting like bugs who eat the snails. Like they were saying, like, this is how bugs eat them or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. There's so many different interpretations you could get from this, but I don't know. It does kind of clue me into it being like, it's just how nature works, and there's nothing you could do about it.
Exactly.
And in a horror series, I mean, it's like showing you that terrifying nature, whereas like, if this happened, and this was just how the world operated because this relic just existed down here, like the world had it.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing you could do.
You just gotta deal with it, unfortunately.
You either, I mean, I guess like going earlier would be better. Wasn't her name like Azemi or something? I can't remember. Azami?
Maybe?
Azami? I can't remember.
Azami? That sounds right, Azami.
Yeah, but I think my least favorite was definitely what happened to Keiko. That was horrifying. Just the fact that there was a baby back inside her with a mushroom placenta, I just could not.
The fact that everyone was eating the mushroom placenta.
They were like addicted to it.
Yeah.
I hated the hospital. Episode 3 was very effective
Yes.
on me.
Yes, it was.
Oh man, yeah.
Is the final shot of the shot that you get of the ruins, like just that one like shot of like everything, like seeing that in the manga, I was like, what the fuck am I even looking at?
What? Of like...
Just like the room is just like these big spiral structures, like
Yeah, it's just like
towering above you. Like, what is that?
It just looks like a giant shell to me. It just looks like a bunch of shells put together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like impossible to comprehend,
Yeah.
which is a cool part of it.
And it's so interesting how Junji Ito was able to, like, create this, honestly. Like, how do you think this up and then draw it out like that?
Also, the fact that it was effective enough to come through on paper with no sound, voice acting, or movement. It's very hard to do horror like that.
Yeah.
Although it is, you know, there's, you know, you definitely are. It's easy to do, not easy, but, you know, there have been many artists who can effectively do horror in, like, 2D drawings or paintings or stuff like that.
For sure.
But, yeah, no, this was a really effective series.
Yeah.
I, like,
respect
hated
the
it.
art of this series 100%.
I
It's so
hated
fucking
it
good.
so much.
Animation this episode. Not
I feel like last episode was better.
Last episode was better. Not terrible in this one, but I did notice when they first broke out of the row house, those, like, people balls, whatever they were. The animation didn't look too good.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was just it was like one of those shots where like nothing is really moving, but they're like shaking the object, I guess, in question, so it looks like there's movement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sometimes that looks weird.
Yes,
yeah. I
yeah.
didn't notice that, but yeah. Yeah.
That was like the only thing I noticed, though, and I don't normally notice like weird animation things unless it's like currently on episode 4.
it's just a pretty overtly bad at that point.
That Golden Kamuy episode, Blue Eyes.
Yeah, but you said you didn't notice it when
I didn't
you first
notice
watched
that
it
one.
either.
Yes,
You
yeah.
didn't notice it
I was
until,
just like, oh, her eyes look a little big.
No,
But-
it was. You said you didn't notice until I pointed it out. Where when we were watching it, I was like, "Why does she look horrifying in this scene?" You were like, "Yeah, she looks really weird." I did not notice this the first time I watched.
I think I only noticed like, her eyes look a little off, but I didn't look too far into it.
For anyone who watches Golden Kamuy, we're talking about the episode Blue Eyes. It's in season 2. I think it's around episode 5 or 6. But if you watch the show, you'll remember it's the episode with the sea otter meat, and I'm almost positive you remember that scene. So, but yes, if you watch the scene with Asirpa in the boat, her eyes are freakishly huge. She does not look normal or like herself.
She looks scary.
It is weird budget stuff, and you can tell that the budget is just lower for that episode too. They were like, okay, we are not putting money into animating all this gay shit. Spoilers for Golden Kamuy. Lots of gay shit. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this series.
Yes.
I'm glad it ended up being like kind of like a cosmic horror thing, because, you know, I didn't know much about it, and I had a feeling it might be, just because of how unexplainable a lot of it is.
Yes, yeah.
But cosmic horror really is one of my favorite genres, just because I think it's like, as horror goes, it is like the most effective. Just as something you can't fight against, like, at all.
Like, you don't even know what's going on, and it's about to kill you. Like, that is terrifying.
It is a horrifying concept. For those who are not familiar with cosmic horror, like, the most common known cosmic horror is Cthulhu. Cthulhu is, like, known to be this, like, monstrously ginormous being. And generally in cosmic horror, a lot of times it does deal with outer space, but that's not necessarily a requirement. But yeah, like, Cthulhu is just, like, basically, I don't even actually...
He's just a sea god.
He's a sea god, and, like, I don't actually even know what his thing is, but I know that he is able to essentially, like, control entire towns or something. I think he has something to do with mind control, doesn't he?
Probably.
I don't remember. But either way, it's all about that, like, the scale is so big, you can't even picture that happening in real life.
Yeah.
Honestly, you haven't really, you know, dealt with it, but I would call the Mass Effect series honestly kind of a cosmic horror series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is like the main conflict, which you've kind of dived into just like a little bit. He's just starting to play Mass Effect.
Yes.
My boyfriend had me play it recently. Great series. But yeah, that one is also dealing with, like, hey, how the fuck are we gonna deal with this impossibly large-scale enemy, like, we have no shot against at all? I just think that as a concept is so fun to deal with, whether they are actually able to make progress against it or not, as we see in this show, where they kind of just are like, alright, I give up.
Oh, man.
Nah, I'm done.
For real.
No, it was really good, though. I did enjoy it. I don't think this
Yes.
last episode was quite a 10.
Yeah.
I feel like the horror was much less this episode. It was not as horrific as usual.
Right, it was just very unsettling with the guys eating the snail meat.
It was like a resolution type thing where it's like things are settling into the final, because like that's what's happening, right? It's like finishing up its transformation.
Exactly.
You know? So,
it's like, all right, time to eat.
Yeah, so like people just like kind of like are like, all right, we got to get this over quick. Just make them spirals and have them build this fucking house. We need to get this done.
Right. Yeah.
We're almost out of time. My thing is, what's with the lighthouse? That was kind of never explained. Why does the lighthouse burn people to crisps? What does that accomplish?
I don't know about that.
What?
About why it's burning people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you remember, there is like a spiral on the
yeah,
actual...
so it's clearly a result of this.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what? Why?
Maybe it's just
Again.
don't know, it makes the light so hot that it burns you.
Again, there's just
I don't know.
there's another thing where it's like we ask why and there's not supposed to be a why. It's not explainable. I mean,
Yeah.
why would it affect mosquitoes
Yeah.
and make pregnant women like zombies at night and not remember it during the day somehow? There's lots of questions we could ask.
Yes.
It's just it seems like everyone else is being used for some sort of purpose, but the people in the lighthouse just got burned to death. I was like, Spiral, that's a little weird.
They did. I mean, Kyrie and that chick with the hair, they just got really cool hair.
Yeah, right? What's their deal? I don't it's so fun.
I
Like,
think what's probably happening is the spiral down below is just like sending off its energy, like, all right, I'm hungry, can we get something going?
and it just affects things in different ways.
Exactly, yeah.
And
If we
even
were to give an
non-living
explanation,
yeah,
I mean...
yeah, right. Even non-living things like the lighthouse,
Right.
like makes it some fucking supernatural lighthouse that burns all your skin off.
Yeah. And it also controls the weather, I guess, because they got 6 typhoons.
6 typhoons. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
It's weird though that the Spiral chooses to ramp things up in such a weird way. It's like we're gonna start slow with just some like random whirlwinds and stuff in the water, and then we're going to get to the point where if you yell, you create a tornado. I thought it was so funny when that guy fucking yelled at them from the town. I was like, my guy, and especially that we find out that he wasn't affected by the Spiral. He just was that stupid to yell there. Like, dude, stop yelling. You literally know what it does. Oh
man.
Who had the worst fate in your opinion? I said her cousin.
Fate, yeah. Yeah, Keiko's was pretty rough.
Chie is pretty bad. I don't
feel
even
bad for her because she's not even from Kurozu. She's just a journalist.
And I don't like to think about how immediate it is, where if like those people that were in the house like it gradually turned into spirals and intertwined with each other. She just got like sucked in and probably like forced into it, and I can't imagine how horrific like assimilation would be in that case. Ugh! I don't like it's like the thing. I don't like that.
Yeah. Honestly, the victims of the pregnant mosquitoes. I think they had the worst fate.
Yeah, I mean they just got their blood drank and drilled.
And like with these fucking like hand drills.
The person to put a specific victim in number 1 slot for most victimized, I would say the person that got drilled in like their cheek.
Their face.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, a really great horror series.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as a non-manga reader. I think this miniseries did a good job. And while I do think it's valid that you critique it for production issues, fuck whoever fucked this over in terms of production, I do think what we got was a very solid horror series in itself. I do enjoy this.
I think so too. As a manga reader, it did well. Obviously, it could have been better.
Yeah.
But I quite enjoyed it for what it is.
Could have been a slow burn, sure. Could have been more episodes, sure. But I did enjoy it, and again, we've said this before, but I do think that the hectic pace did make me feel like it did help to give me this sense of like uncontrollableness, you know, to this phenomenon.
Yeah.
Which I did enjoy. But yeah, very good.
Things are just spiraling out of control. It's so weird.
Yeah. It did seem to get like faster and faster. Well, actually, it kind of seemed like it's interesting. It kind of seemed like it spiraled in and then out, you know? Like, it got faster and faster in, like... And then, like, episode 2 was, like, as fast as it got. And then, like, 3, we dealt with a lot of issues. We dealt with a couple different issues, but I don't think as many as episode 2. And then episode 4 was just, like, the end.
Big picture stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's getting slower and slower, which, you know, interesting. For someone who is not familiar with the manga pace, I thought it was paced effectively in a way. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was a really good series. I will never be watching it again. I cannot look at these images again. I've been so desensitized to this one.
Right,
This one
yeah.
does not affect me anymore with Azami's eye spiral thing.
Right.
That does not affect me. But episode 3 for certain never will be returning to
Disgusting.
episode 3.
Shuichi's dad in the little tub that he
Didn't
got.
like that.
Didn't like that
Didn't
at
like
all.
that. Didn't like that.
You didn't
episode
like
1.
his mom
Yeah, episode 1
snip, snip.
and 3 I will not be returning. Honestly, episode 1 through 3. I'll watch the end again, sure, wasn't too bad. I didn't love him crawling inside the snail thing. That was pretty horrific. But episode 1 through 3 just has so much stuff that I was just like, I never want to. 2 with the snail sex. Nope, I don't want to think about it.
Episode 4 has the Dragonfly gang. Like, they're the best. That's why it's the best episode.
The dragonfly guy. Those dudes
They were the Butterfly gang.
That concept is the only one, Junji Ito, if you're listening. I don't think that fully worked for me. People like using the tornadoes and flying around in them.
I liked it.
It felt a little too silly for me.
It-
They were like, "Oh, there's our prey. Combine." I was like,
No,
"What
I
is this?
thought it was so funny.
What is this like mech show that they're in right now? What the fuck?"
I hear you. I hear you definitely. Tonally, it is off.
It was so weird. And they had like sunglasses on. I'm like,
But-
what is this biker gang?
Honestly, I thought it worked because, like, I think it shows that some people will just
take
take advantage of crisis, and somehow they just work with it so well. Like, how did they figure out how to use these whirlwinds in that way?
Sometimes I think this series is maybe not even about this is like the opposite of stagnation, which I agree with too, but adaptation, and just like that one guy adapted to it but didn't become part of the spiral.
Yeah, right.
Tanizaki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just learned to live,
Yeah.
I guess, with it, and these other people just became at peace with it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, we adapted, and this is the most horrific thing I've ever seen at first, but I'm kind of digging it now. But I don't know. I think it's more about stagnation, too, especially because of the babies. The babies is a really good point, them wanting to go back in the womb. Anyway,
English class.
if you want us to react to anything else, let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see, whether that be anime or live action, anything else, and we will try to react to it. But I hope you enjoyed these reactions, and we'll see you for whatever the next one is.
Yep. See ya.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.